Welcome back, awesome action toy fans and subscribers. Not a new toy, but new for me. I picked this up in Malaysia on my recent 3-4 weeks there. Colonel Miles Quaritch, maybe, from Avatar. Nice looking toy, looks big for 118. I've got the crab suit, which is fantastic. I'll put a link to the top right now for you there. Looks good, double elbow joints, looks a bit messy now. I love the shooting effects on the guns, and that masthead looks great too. I'm looking forward to this. On the back, just shows him in the amp suit, which I wasn't really that interested in, if I'm honest. Didn't look great to me, but people have said it is good. 20 moving parts, so hopefully that's 22 pieces of, or 22 points of articulation, I should say, on him. We'll find out in a moment. Okay, let me pause this, unbox him, set him up, and let's get into this. Back in an instant. And here he is, and you can see he can drink his coffee very easily with this articulation, which is great. First impressions, not the best quality or the smoothest of designs, etc., but pretty cool. There are a couple of issues here and there we'll look at as we go along. Let's look at accessories. It comes as an alternate head with this sort of a rebreather. That is really nice, and that not really compatible with the lines. That's so deep, that neck well. You have to make an artificial sort of a, what's the word, I guess, washer lower down. You can do that, use PVA glue. Got a video about that, I'll leave in the top right when you see that. And this little, I guess that's the rebreather technology or oxygen or something. It comes with 3 additional hands. It comes with a left pointing hand with a finger that looks a bit too long, or for picking his nose maybe. And he comes with a right fist, which seems too small compared to his other hand. And he comes with a right gripping, even though he's sort of semi-gripping now. Well, actually, no, he's got a trigger finger now. Then he comes with 2 guns. This little pistol here, which is pretty cool. And it's got a little muzzle flash shooting effect, which is nice. Oops. Come on, maybe it should be fitting in this way here. There we go. And this bigger gun, which looks pretty cool. Again, with another muzzle flash shooting effect here. Now, one of the issues with this is, look at this big gun. The trigger for this, you can see where it is just, here's my little pliers here. So he's got to hold this handle. But look at that gap there. There's no way he can hold that well. Yes, he can hold that one, but that's not for shooting. He's going to blow his trigger finger off if it goes up over the barrel. So that is a bit of an issue. Now the gun, if you try and make him hold it nicely, is going to flex because it's not particularly well designed for action figures. Anyway, let's get a close look at him. So he's got his little mug here, which he's drinking out of. His elbows are super ugly. Little, I'm guessing it's a holster for the pistol, since that would fit in, yeah, that way. I can't say I could put the machine gun in there. Something like that. Oh, that was just about in there, and it came out again. That kind of works, not the best fit, but it will do, it's secure enough. It's got this sort of tattoo on his arm. Pretty good proportions on the upper body. Does seem a bit on the big side for 118. But quite nice looking. And is that a screw inside there? No, just a hole for attaching that sort of rebreathing thing on his other head. Looks pretty cool, and the double jointed elbows may look ugly, but the articulation they give you is just superb. Okay, let's get that out of there. And the hands, it's not a pin on the hands, it's a pin on the actual joint that you must push into. So there's a similar system to the newer Joy Toy. So let's have a look at his articulation. So he can look left and right, he can go a little bit up and down, sort of side to side. Shoulders all the way around to the side. He gets over, well, about flat. It appears that he's got a little shoulder butterfly joint on the shoulder too, which is nice. Biceps is going to be ridiculous. Look at that. I can't do that. My arm is going to be slightly less angled, but you see there's rough parts on the plastic for the ratchet there, which is good because he can hold positions with heavier things in his hands. Wrists line up the joints, so at the moment it's lined up for wave articulation. If I was to turn that around, does it actually turn around or not? Let's have a look. Yeah, turn it around for that way. Now he has gun articulation. Trunk Small turn, not really small forwards, backwards, not really side to side. Waist, he can turn, so together, forwards not great, backwards is pretty good, sideways is okay, and the turn's going to be good. Hips, let me take the gun out actually, because that's going to impede his hip articulation. Sideways, decent, but if there's resistance, as you just saw, it will pop out. Forwards is pretty appalling. Backwards, is acceptable. There is no thigh twist, though he can twist from the actual hip joint, we can see. There's a double kneecap. Again, it's got a sort of ratchet feel to it. And that is super. Come on. I'm sure there's one more there, maybe. Stiff. Very tight, but his knees get those ugly sort of gaps there. And then we get to his feet. No, is there a boot turn? I feel like there should be. Yes, there's a boot turn from the joint. This one's doing it. This one feels a bit, there we go, stiffer. You've got a decent tippy toe. You've got a phenomenal dorsiflexation. Your feet should swivel in and out, and we can see that he has got toe articulation somewhere. There we go. He's got toe articulation too, though I don't think he actually needs it. So lots of articulation. The hips, the ankle's a bit too loose, I would say, but the arms are pretty good. Just that the hips aren't the best. Now for holding this gun, now that I've changed the gun articulation, can he do it well? Let's take a look and see. Let me take his hand off it a bit easier. Because look, you see, everything's in the way. But that's just not well thought out for a toy. How bendy are his fingers? Have a quick check. Oh, they're quite pliable, so that will make it a bit easier. Let's bend. Then hopefully before he puts it in, I can... Before he comes back to position, I can get that hand. Yeah, that's not good. See, now he's holding and his arm's on the outside. Let's try putting that back in. Bear in mind, the wrist and the forearm is going to be maybe pushing. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Actually, I'll take that back. Brett and I thought when he's got his arm bent in that position there, but two-handed he's going to struggle. He's got, sorry, I missed off. He's got a bicep swivel as well, so I can't even really turn that around because where the gun is, and I don't think his arm could reach. Ooh. If I change the wrist round to a wave articulation, maybe he can do it a bit nicer. Maybe. But now it's not shouldered. You could probably shoulder it, but I don't want to waste time on that now. Pretty decent. So a bit of a hassle to get the to hold the gun nicely. But now sort of Invasion USA for Chuck Norris. Does do it pretty well. For the other gun, should be a damn sight easier. There we go. Very nicely into the hand straight away. There doesn't seem to be quite a straight fit though, so that's a bit of a worry. That's okay. Holds that okay as well. And let's have a look with the alternate head on. It should be just a pop off. Well, that's a long neck peg. Has to be this with that depth of a neck well there. This will just pop on here. Off camera, make it a bit easier for myself. There's the click. Let's plug that in. Which way around? That way maybe. Okay. Doesn't want to stay in because the sort of tube is stretching. That is a nice alternate head. Some uses for that in your customs. Now I would have bought, there's another one or two of these at Toys R Us. on the clearance. And I put clearance in speech marks because Toys R Us clearances aren't particularly good unless it's a really old line. Like the Lightyear stuff, the clearance was okay, but not as good like Entertainer in UK, but it was a lot cheaper again. Or even Aeon Aeon Moles, the Aeon's like a supermarket, their Lightyear stuff was really cheap. Nice looking figure. Let's stand him up. Now let's see if I'm right or wrong about his height. I think he's going to be a pretty big boy. But, you know, I've been wrong many times before, and I think I might be wrong again now. Oh, I don't know. I think I might be right. Yeah, he's like 4.5. He's 11 cm, so he's a big lad. If I compare him to a regular figure, this is Blockhead from Eagle Force, I reviewed very recently. Well, for me, it was like before this video. And you can see that he's a fair bit taller than Blockhead, but he does scale well. If I use my Acid Rain World Narinu Sentinel, who is quite big as well, might be a bit more of a fair comparison. He's still bigger to the top of his head, but again, he scales well with them too. Nice figure. I really hope I can find more of these, but for really cheap, and I'll consider buying some more because I think for customs and whatnot, it is a decent figure to have. Put them that way, in fact. Okay, this is Awesome Actually signing out, so please like, share, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next video soon. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye bye.